want to talk about conspiracy theories and the conspiratorial narrative in driving extremism.
Yeah.
So, how powerful are conspiratorial narratives in driving radicalization towards extremist violence? And is this purely a phenomenon that we see on the far right with regards to QAnon, et cetera? Or does it exist on the other side of the political spectrum? And within your research, have you noticed any of this within religiously motivated extremists, or let's say jihadists?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know a militant movement where conspiracy theory of some sort is not present, right? It usually makes an appearance in some form or another, either based on what they think Western governments are doing, or what they think the government that they're after is doing, what they think the Jewish community is doing, and so on. And so I think it kind of pops up anytime there's a very strong in-group out-group dynamic. You're much more likely to kind of paint the out-group as not only someone we're against, but someone who's kind of cosmically sinister, right? And that is doing heinous things and is trying to hide it, and that sort of thing. And so what a lot of the studies show is these at a militant group level, there is a tendency to amplify and accelerate the trajectory towards violence, right? If the more you believe, not just that the people that the other is someone we just have a mild political disagreement with, but the more you start to believe that they are a sinister cabal of people who are doing something to your community, or to children, I guess, it has a tendency to kind of amplify and accelerate that trajectory towards violence. At the non-militant group level, it's difficult to know what that does in terms of violence, but what it has a whole host of other consequences. And so study after study shows, for example, that people who believe in conspiracy theories are less likely to vote, are less likely to vaccinate their kids, are less likely to trust the media, that sort of thing. And or that once they believe in one or two conspiracy theories, they're much more likely to believe in 5 or 6 more, right? And so that has huge consequences for kind of democratic discourse, and kind of public functioning of society in kind of a basic sense. And so I think it has consequences for non-militant communities like QAnon and so on. But especially now, pandemic vaccination rollout, you have hundreds of thousands of people who believe that the vaccine is filled with nanoparticles that are going to, do something to you, or that Bill Gates is running the whole show, et cetera. And so what does that mean for our safety and herd immunity in the long run, is a ongoing concern. At the militant level, I think, I've seen it with the Tigers, I've seen it with Al-Qaeda, I've seen it with ISIS. Basically, any militant group is going to have an element of some sort of sinister cabal or all-powerful outgroup that you're fighting against. And particularly, sometimes they largely have to do with kind of the masculinities and rape allegations and things like that you see all the time. American soldiers are raping our women, that sort of thing. You see that quite often in terms of what the kind of others are doing to us, right? And so if you look at Myanmar, if you look at the Uyghur community in China, there's always a kind of sinister motive attached to what these minority communities are doing to good and noble women on our side, right? And so we have to do something. And so I think when you paint that out groups as a kind of evil, it has to be painted in that sort of way to then say we have to stamp them out, right? And so. So that, yeah, I think anytime there's that kind of extremist rhetoric or polarization, you'll see conspiracy theories pop up in one form or another. All of them don't have to be kind of otherworldly lizard people oriented, but sometimes it's just as basic as our women are being raped en masse, or children are being killed, or whatever it might be. and so that it's designed to kind of mobilize, right? It's designed to mobilize very quickly and urgently.